Hey, so this is going to be my first video on this YouTube channel. At the time of this recording, I haven't even created this channel yet, but I'm just creating this video to have my first video on this channel. I have a lot planned, so this is just the beginning. By no means is any of this going to be perfect. I am learning a lot and learned a lot in the making of this video, so it's only going to get better. And yeah. I'm not sure what people want, so I am just going to be commentating over this video. This is going to be a two-part video, and part two, then I will just do the time lapse and not talk over it and just have cinematic. So as you can see here, I just created a simple base, nothing special, and just use the sphere brush, and as I went up, I made the sphere smaller as the branches got smaller and thinner, and just created a general outline. I had no plan for this, so I just kind of went as I went. I've never created a structure this big, so this is actually my first time building with World Edit, so this is all fairly new to me and I'm learning as I go. So there's a lot of tools that I don't know about that probably would have helped a lot in this video. So if you know any, feel free to let me know in the comments or something. And I've never created a tree this big. As you can see here, I just put a few points and then did the curve command with I think World Edit, and then just created a whole bunch more branches. I made a lot of branches, and most trees that people make just have like a few branches and then they just cover it with leaves. But I went with a different style, so you would be able to see the branches more, because in part two I'm actually gonna have a little town on the tree, so I want to be able to have plenty of branches and room to have houses and buildings on. And I want you to be able to see the branches from the bottom. As you can see later in the video, I do a different method for making the leaves and stuff. As you can see here, I have the general layout and it's not perfect at all. Nothing's smooth, and I think later I try to go back and start smoothing things. I think I created two more branches here, and then I was gonna smooth the whole tree by hand, but I realized that was gonna take too long and I wasn't gonna spend that much time on this tree. You see there, I'm just smoothing out this little branch, and I was gonna do that for every branch, but yeah, I didn't want to commit that much time into just a simple tree. So yeah, and then I started playing around with different smoothing tools with Voxel Sniper and World Edit. I primarily use World Edit, and I really need to start learning Voxel Sniper. But I start to try to smooth the tree out, and then I end up butchering some branches, as you'll see, and I go back and try to fix those later, but they'll be covered up by leaves anyways. So yeah, I kind of butcher a few branches, as you can see here, and then I try to go back and fix them. They look kind of pathetic right now, but trust me, it'll look better. So yeah, I spent a lot of time just fidgeting around with different methods of how to smooth and different tools that I could use. I was trying to change the size of different branches to make it look smoother and more natural. And I start to put leaves on the trees. I don't do what most people do when they use spheres and just kind of like put giant blobs and just cover the branches. When my method is I just use a cylinder command or cylinder brush, which is 2 blocks tall, and kind of stack it on top of each other with layer by layer to create a different effect so that you can see the branches better and it doesn't just swallow up the branches, and it gives it a much different effect. Not sure if people will like it or hate it, but I personally like it and came up with this technique on my own. I'm sure someone else in the past has done this. And then the only downside is that it makes the tops look a little flat, which later in the video I try to fix, but it still ends up having fairly flat leaves. So at least you'll be able to see the branches better, and you can actually see the detail in the trees, and you'll be able to see the buildings in part 2 when I make the houses. So then I go back with a lighter brush, which is like 99% air or something, to try to feather out the leaves and make it not so harsh of like a cut from leaves to nothing, and try to smooth them out a little bit, kind of like blend everything. And I go back with like a 99% airbrush and then go on top of the branches and leaves to smooth out the tops and not give it such a harsh finish, even though it's still kind of flat, as you can see here. Yeah, the tops are still pretty flat, but I personally don't think it's too much of an issue. And yeah, that's the end of the time lapse. So I just finished editing the video and it is by no means perfect, and yeah, it was pretty cringy editing that video and working on it, but it's done. It's just gonna be my first video on the YouTube channel. I still have a lot to learn, like the audio was not that good. That's gonna get better, and I'm still learning how to use replay mod, and the builds are gonna get better because I just started learning how to use world edit and voxel sniper. So in part 2 I'll build the houses, the buildings. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go. I just started planning out a little bit, but I'm just gonna wing it and start building. But hopefully part 2 will be better, and then I'll have more videos out and the videos will get better. So I'm not sure if anyone will even see this at the time of this recording. I haven't even created the channel yet, but yeah, I don't know how to end the video, so thanks for watching.